NBA season is coming to a close. Some teams exceeded their expectations while some disappointed. Today I'm going to be going over every single NBA team and their best takeaway from the season. What's good everyone, my name is Bogart. If you're new to the channel and you enjoy daily NBA content, make sure you subscribe and let's get straight into it. The Atlanta Hawks. I'm sure most Hawks fans are actually a little bit disappointed with their performance throughout the season as they're going to end up as a lower seed play-in type of team, but there are a few positives as Nate McMillan got fired and they brought in Quinn Snyder as their new coach, hopefully to come in and create a new culture and have more winning basketball. DeJounte Murray has been playing exceptionally well, dropping 20.6 rebounds and 5 assists per game, and something I think more people should talk about is the Atlanta Hawks rookie AJ Griffin coming out of Duke. He's only averaging about 19 minutes per game, but he's dropping a steady 9 points and 2 rebounds. Not only is he going to keep improving his game, but if he can find a higher role on this team and average more minutes, I think he can become a low-end star. The Boston Celtics. Obviously, after that painful loss in the finals last year to the Warriors, the Celtics did look to bounce back, and they pretty much did so. They do have championship aspirations again. They're hoping to get back to where they were last year and finish the job. And on top of that, Jason Tatum has expanded into an MVP caliber player, probably a top 5 to 7 player in the league right now, averaging 30 points per game. And on top of that, Jaylen Brown has took yet another big leap in his career, averaging now 27 points a game and 7 rebounds, as well as becoming an NBA All-Star this year. Let's see if the Celtics could pull it off and finish the job. The Brooklyn Nets. Obviously, they've moved on from KD, Kyrie, and Harden and pretty much completely reset their team. But this isn't necessarily a bad thing. Although it seemed like one of the most dominant lineups in NBA history, the three didn't exactly mesh together well, and it was probably better off for them to all go their own separate ways. As well as they got some pretty good young assets from these trade returns for some of these guys, like Mikal Bridges, who's been going off since he went on the Nets, and Cam Johnson, who's a really good role player and pretty much perfects his role on any team. And obviously we cannot forget about Cam Thomas as well, who pretty much exploded for a stretch over a certain amount of games. I don't know why he doesn't get as many minutes, but he is a very, very good scorer. So Brooklyn does have a future now to look forward to. The Charlotte Hornets. Obviously this was a pretty disappointing season for Charlotte, but even though LaMelo Ball got hurt, in the games he's played, he's looked amazing. So the injuries didn't really affect him too much, but on top of him getting hurt, it did help because now they're going to have a very good pick as they're one of the bottom teams in the league. Hopefully the Hornets can capitalize on this, get a good big man, maybe even Victor, and create a good duo with LaMelo and whoever they draft. The Chicago Bulls. This one, I'm not even going to lie, I don't have anything. Probably one of the NBA's most disappointing teams yet again. And let's start off with Lonzo Ball. His career is kind of unfortunately going down the drain because of all these injuries, and there's nothing he can do about it. And everyone seems to like Lonzo as well. He's a really good player when he plays, but we haven't even seen him on the court in God knows how long. And on top of that, DeMar DeRozan's starting to get pretty old. Not everyone's like LeBron. He's not going to be able to play at a high level till he's 38. He's entering his mid-30s, and I don't know how many years he really has left. And this isn't any shot at DeMar. I absolutely love DeMar DeRozan, but the Bulls have to do something with him. He only has a few actual good years left, and unless the Bulls want to win now, which it doesn't seem like is going to happen, they should move him somewhere else and try and get something in return for him while they can. The Cleveland Cavaliers. Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland have been absolutely outstanding, both of them being NBA All-Stars and leading the Cavs to what now are a 4 seed. And I don't want to leave out Evan Mobley or Jarrett Allen as well because they're probably one of, if not the best big man duo in the league. This team has a really scary lineup. The only thing I think is holding them back right now is their bench, but if they can get a stronger bench, I think they could be contending for the title. I think this year is a great year for these guys to get experience and chemistry together in the playoffs, and then they can pick up some good free agency pieces off the bench for the summer and then be a very good contending team next year. The Dallas Mavericks. Luka's been doing his thing yet again, another MVP caliber type of year, but the big thing is that they added Kyrie Irving. Luka finally got his star. The Mavericks finally made some kind of move to show Luka that they're making an effort to help him. So although they don't have too much of a deep team, this duo could do a lot of damage in the playoffs if they get hot. The Denver Nuggets. Of course, we got to put it out there that Jokic is having yet another MVP caliber season, dropping a triple-double average as a center, the first time in history to do so. But that's one of the most obvious things. A huge piece of the Nuggets right now is that Jamal Murray is healthy and playing like himself again, along with Michael Porter Jr. coming into what seems like to be a mini Carmelo Anthony. This guy can shoot the ball and he makes tough shots. The Detroit Pistons. In my opinion, I think them getting James Wiseman for a bag of chips was absolutely huge. Not a lot of people saw James Wiseman's potential and they didn't really want to invest much into him, but him playing with the Pistons these last couple games, he's been averaging double doubles, putting up pretty good numbers. On top of that, the Pistons are going to have yet yet another top pick in the draft, and they have a lot of young talent. Between Jaden Ivey, Cade Cunningham, James Wiseman, and this pick they're going to get, which is probably going to be top 3 yet again, this can be scary. The Golden State Warriors. I mean, what can I say? The big three are still doing their thing in their mid-30s. Steph Curry was out for a little bit, so that's why their record's kind of down, but I think they can be just as much of a dangerous team in the playoffs. Although I do want to mention Jonathan Kuminga. He does seem like a Walmart Donovan Mitchell, but he could fill a very big role on this Warriors team. The Houston Rockets. Record-wise and play-wise, it might have been a pretty disappointing season, but they have a ton of young talent. Between Sengun, Jabari Smith, Jalen Green, Kenyon Martin, Tari Eason, and the list keeps going on, these guys have so much young talent, and they're going to have yet another top pick coming up. I think once these guys get more experience under their belts and get more chemistry and grow up a little bit, they are going to be dangerous. The Indiana Pacers. Tyrese Halliburton has been an absolute star, averaging 10 assists plus per game and 20 points. Recently, before sitting out the last couple games due to a little injury, he was going off, dropping game winners. He had 17, 19 assist games, dropping 40 points. This guy is a star. And Benedict Mathurin was a golden draft pick choice, as this guy can average 20 on any kind of night. The Los Angeles Clippers. Now, I'm going to say the same thing about them that I have in the last few years. Health is the most important thing for this team. If these group of guys can stay healthy, they have just as much of a shot at the title as anyone else. They added more shooting from Gordon and added a lot of playmaking from Westbrook. Plus, he's not under the bright lights with the Lakers anymore, so he can kind of just play, enjoy himself, and do him. The Los Angeles Lakers. Now, their trade deadline pickups were absolutely amazing, and it gives them a real shot to contend in the playoffs now. It gives LeBron and AD other people that they can depend on. Speaking of AD, he has finally been healthy all year, and he's been playing out of his mind, which is a must for the Lakers. And last but not least, the most obvious one is LeBron James breaking the all-time scoring record. The Memphis Grizzlies. Now, there has been a lot of bad stuff surrounding the team as of lately, as in Dylan Brooks, the whole Ja Morant thing, but at the end of the day, they're still a very competitive team, and Jaren Jackson Jr. has been going off this year, making his first All-Star appearance. The Miami Heat. Another team that's had more of a disappointing season, but Jimmy and Bam were still doing their thing all year, and Haslam is finally retiring. Let's be real, everyone loves him, but he really just gotta hang him up, so it's a good thing he's finally calling it quits. The Milwaukee Bucks. Once again, Giannis Antetokounmpo is showing why he's pretty much the best player in the league. You can put him on any team and they are automatic contenders. Although the Bucks did pick up Jay Crowder, and Joe Ingles is finally healthy, so they are now surrounded by shooters, which is pretty much what made them the 1 seed, which they are right now, and not to mention Bobby Portis is a amazing sixth man. The Minnesota Timberwolves. I'd like to call this a disappointing season, as well as Cat was out for most of the year, and Anthony Edwards just emerged with a new injury as well. Although Anthony Edwards took a massive leap in his game this year, being a first-time All-Star and showing that he's a franchise player. The New Orleans Pelicans. Yet another disappointing team, mostly due to injuries though, as Zion missed a lot of the season as well, and it doesn't look like he's going to return. Although they have some great rookies in Trey Murphy and Herbert Jones, and they have a very, very deep team, so if they can stay healthy, just like the Clippers, they can contend with anyone else. The New York Knicks. Now, being a Knicks fan myself, I gotta thank the heavens for Jalen Brunson dropping into our hands. He's been spectacular, and he's led this team to what's now a 5 seed, and they are 12 games above 500. Something I don't think the Knicks have seen in 10 or 11 years. Not to mention Julius Randle returning to an all-star caliber player, and my boy RJ Barrett still doing his thing. Josh Hart was also a very solid pickup for the Knicks, and they are 12-3 since picking him up. So both for myself and speaking for other Knicks fans, I could say it'd be a very, very successful season, even if we just win past round 1. The Oklahoma City Thunder. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has been playing damn near MVP basketball, averaging over 30 points a game, as well as Josh Giddey identifying himself as a very solid playmaker, and he is a great duo to set up next to Shai. As well, gotta mention both Jalen Williams has been playing amazing for their rookie seasons. They have Isaiah Joe shooting the lights out off the bench, and they still have Chet Holmgren coming back from his injury. We gotta remember that the second pick that they took from this last draft didn't play a game this season, so add him in the mix and another somewhat decent pick from this upcoming draft, that is scary. The Orlando Magic. Paolo is pretty much going to be rookie of the year. He's playing very good basketball. Franz Wagner is still playing very good basketball, and Fultz is finally back and healthy. The Philadelphia 76ers. James Harden is leading the league in assists, and Embiid might finally get his MVP. As well, they have a decent shot of making a very good playoff run, and I wouldn't count them out for the title. The Phoenix Suns. Their pickup of Kevin Durant pretty much established them as the best team in the league and the favorites to win the title. Obviously needing him to be healthy, but that's pretty much set in stone. As well as Devin Booker doing his normal thing, playing as a top shooting guard in the league, and Josh Okogie has emerged. The Portland Trailblazers. Somewhat of a disappointing season. Dame doesn't really have too much help, so I don't really know what to say there, but Dame has been going off this season, arguably his best season scoring the ball in his career. The Sacramento Kings. Literally everything. From the Beam to De'Aaron Fox to Domantas Sabonis, Kevin Huerter, everything is falling into place. Ever since getting new head coach Mike Brown, they have completely turned this culture around, going from one of the bottom teams in NBA history up to the second seed in the West. I don't think a single person would have ever guessed this. They're beating some of the best teams in the league. They have good offense, good defense, they're hitting good shots, game winners. It's just everything is there. The San Antonio Spurs. It's been pretty much of a dumpster fire of a season, but let's just hope you get Wemby. The Toronto Raptors. Scotty Barnes has remained solid, showing that he was a good pick in the draft. Pascal Siakam still being an all-star is another good sign, and OG has been having an outstanding season. The Utah Jazz. Lauri Markkanen has been shining bright in Utah, averaging 23 points a game this season after only averaging 14 last season. It's looking like he's going to be the most improved player, as well as Walker Kessler being an outstanding pick, looking like one of the best steals of the draft. Ever since putting him into the starting spot, he's been averaging 11-11 and 3.5 blocks. I think this guy has a great chance of being a defensive player of the year farther down the line, and he was the steal of the draft. I made another video about him as well, go check that out. And last but not least, the Washington Wizards. Another mediocre season for them, but I do gotta hand it to Kyle Kuzma and Kristaps Porzingis that they've been showing out pretty decently for themselves. But guys, that's pretty much gonna do it for this video. Leave some thoughts or opinions down below, or let me know anything I might have missed. Make sure you leave a like on the video. Let's see if we can get 20 likes on this video. Obviously, make sure you subscribe for daily NBA content, and I will see you guys in the next video.